Art house entertainment collides with mainstream Hollywood in one of the most talked about films of the year. Welcome back to RealScreenReviews.com. I'm film critic Nick Iacobucci, and our next movie review is The Black Swan. This dark and serious drama opened in limited release on December 3rd, 2010, and I'm happy to inform that it has expanded in the last few weeks, and I encourage anyone to do your best to get out and see it. The Black Swan stars Natalie Portman, Mila Kunis, Vincent Cassel, Winona Ryder, and Barbara Hershey. This film comes to us from the very talented director Darren Aronofsky, the director of The Wrestler, which resurrected the career of Mickey Rourke, Requiem for a Dream, and Pi. Mr. Aronofsky now takes on the New York City Ballet and combines it with a mesh of competitive intrigue, all the while delivering a solid, top-notch thriller. Our story begins telling us the tale of Natalie Portman's Nina, a professional ballet dancer in New York City that is trying her best to gain the coveted lead role of the Swan Princess in the staged production of Swan Lake. For those not familiar with Swan Lake, it tells the tale of a beautiful virgin that is trapped in the body of a swan. She is in need of true love to win her over and break her spell, and that nearly does happen, and the spell is almost broken. However, it is the black swan that appears at the end of the story and seduces the prince away from the white swan, and because of this, the white swan ends up taking her own life and achieving freedom the only way possible. Mirroring that story, we have our lead Nina usually dressed in white, and shortly after the film progresses, we meet her soon-to-be adversary Lily, portrayed by Mila Kunis. Lily is a talent, but also very promiscuous and dark, and with the leading lady of the ballet company soon stepping down, everyone is vying for the treasured role. Nina, in fact, does gain the lead in the show, but it is only the beginning, because now she must fight tooth and nail to keep the part. You feel her frustration in trying to attain perfection, and she just can't seem to let go enough to embrace the character of the Black Swan and completely channel her own inner dark side. Now, as the story plays out, Nina is pushed to the brink by Lily, her mother, played by Barbara Hershey in her best role in years, and the director of the show, Thomas Leroy. The story builds and builds, bringing both the climax of the film and the stage show within the film to a fantastic finish. Never would I have ever thought passion and seduction to describe Swan Lake, and never would I have suspected someone could craft a truly brilliant thriller out of a ballet, and I couldn't have been more wrong on both points. Well, people, this is a freaky story, but one of the year's best films. To anyone that has been in or done live theater, The Black Swan really captures the look and feel of it, especially the scenes involving the rehearsal process. The entire audience shares the pressure that is felt by Nina as the lead in the show, and never have I ever wanted to attend a ballet before, but now I just can't wait to see a staged production of Swan Lake. The ballet dancing was truly exquisite and extremely convincing, and though I'm nowhere near an expert, I was lost in the beautiful movements of all the performers involved in the dancing. On a different note, how far has Natalie Portman come since the days of Star Wars and Luc Besson's The Professional? The answer to that is light years, no pun intended. She is in almost every second of this film and holds it together tighter than 2 coats of paint. And Mila Kunis, is not only one of the most beautiful actresses in Hollywood, she is standout as the nemesis to our heroine and is carving herself out quite a career in film after her success on the TV show That 70s Show. I must also tip my hat to Vincent Cassel as the director within the movie, and he was as demanding as he was credible, and it was really nice to see him play, not play a complete scumbag for a change, I loved the brilliance of how every character in the movie The Black Swan mirrored a character from the stage play. I loved how the filmmakers deliberately toned down the musical score and filled the movie with the actual music from Swan Lake. If you look closely, you'll see swans throughout the film in the background, and one of my favorite effects was the wardrobe. The lead that is pure and innocent is usually outfitted in white, and the sultry and bad girl of the movie always seems to be wearing black, and that's an old Alfred Hitchcock trick. Darren Aronofsky has crafted one of the year's best films that oozes drama out of every scene. The camera follows the performers right onto the stage, and you'll feel like you are right there with them. A mountain of thought goes into every second of a film by Aronofsky, and I'm confident to say that nothing just happens in one of his films. To call this movie intriguing would be the year's biggest understatement, because every moment of it is absorbing, captivating, and enthralling. At 1 hour and 43 minutes, The Black Swan felt like half that, mainly because of its originality. The end of the movie could really be interpreted differently from different people, but that's not a bad thing either. Though a little on the wild side in some spots, I never thought that it got too far-fetched, and the amazingly solid performances make up for any complaints that you could have along the way. This film is the definition of perfection achieved, and I'll give it 4 stars out of 4. And remember, people, I'm not always right, only when it comes to the movies. And thank you for your attention.